অসমত আহে মই কৈছোঁ মোৰ ৰেকৰ্ড আছে যে আমি ৱেলকাম কৰিম আদৰণি জনাম আমি আৰু বেছি কোৱা নাই এইটো কংগ্ৰেছে ভয় খাই ঘুম নিদ্ৰা হাৰাম হৈ গৈছে কংগ্ৰেছৰ টোপনি হাৰাম হৈ গৈছে
Okay, now Ajmal had also made it absolutely clear that he's not going to have any truck with the Congress listening.
না আমার না লাগে আমি নকৰো আমি নিজে কৈছোঁ যদি এতিয়া অকলে কংগ্ৰেছে চাইলেও আমি নকৰোঁ কেনে কংগ্ৰেছ তো হাৰাৰ লাইনেই আছে বিহাৰৰ ৰিজাল্টৰ পিছত চোক নখুলিব এইসকলে খাপ দেখি আছে আৰে আপোনালোক আমাৰ অসমত মুছলমান কিমান আছে ভাই কোন পাৰ্চেণ্টেজ 35% पूरा 100% যদি আমি নেখেলো ইলেকশ্যন আমি যদি নুঠুই 100% পাইলে সরকার বনাব পাৰিব নেকি যদি মুসলমানে ঢোল জোল বুড়ি সব করে ঝুলি খারি করে দিয়ে দিয়ে কংগ্রেসত এক পার্টি ওয়ান পার্টি হিসাবে ওয়ান সিঙ্গল পার্টি সরকার কৰিব পাৰিব নেকি হিসাব নাই না 65% একফালে আর 35% একফালে ডবল ভোটে বিজেপি আহি যাব সেইটোই সকলে বিচাৰি আছে
Okay, so very clear-cut statement by Badruddin Ajmal. I am going starting from my extreme left, number one. These are very significant statements by Badruddin Ajmal. Yesterday he indicated that he could go with the AIMIM denied, but today once again he reiterated that means in the last 24 hours or 12 hours or whatever he must have really established that communication with the AIMIM, and therefore he went public again saying that the AIMIM led by Asaduddin Owaisi had invited the AIUDF for talks after the 2nd of December.
Definitely, Wasbir. Just when everybody had ruled out AIUDF after the drubbing in the Lok Sabha polls, Ajmal has been able to make a dramatic entry. And this is such an entry, it has made things really complicated for the so-called opposition front, and things are more complicated than last time. Last time, of course, after the initial tutu meme, they decided to come together in the end. But if Ajmal actually is able to rope in the likes of OAC and other parties, OAC himself is enough.
Even if symbolically, that will create a big problem for the Congress, both in terms of minority dominated seats and also in terms of if the Congress again decides to consider allying with the AIUDF, which Ajmal is ruling out, but they have done that before. They have ruled out things, they have come together. But if this time, if Congress tries to ally with a front which has OAC in it, again this will complicate things for a state like Assam, where the Congress also has to depend on a large number of seats and vote bank in eastern Assam as well. So it's a big dilemma for the Congress. Only some Gaurav Gogoi just about a fortnight ago was presided over that meeting where Akhil Gogoi, then Lurin Jyoti Gogoi, and these are the two names I remember. I don't know about the other names. There are the three left parties, the CPI, CPIM and the CPIML, apart from the Hill Leaders, All Party Hill Leaders Conference. Now the point is, he must have, Gaurav Gogoi I'm talking about, he must have felt a little bit of happy that okay, at least we could force a 7-party or a 8-party alliance. Now within a fortnight, what is happening internally, I'm not going to go into that right now, I'll talk about it, but suddenly from nowhere, as Nabarun said, dramatic entry by Ajmal and said that, oh, we are going to form a Muslim kind of a front, Muslim-based political front in Assam to face the elections. And as I said, even if it is symbolic, if a party led by OAC comes without any, of course, they don't have any organizational base whatsoever in Assam. But they might harm the Congress, like never before.
Absolutely. In fact, yes, like you said, maybe for a while Gaurav Gogoi must have been feeling ki, all right, I'm being able to stitch up something, but Wasbir, we cannot forget the fact that this particular Hom Hanmilito Morcha that they are calling it as, it was always there, but we all know, needless to say, we've seen what had happened to this particular front earlier as well. But now, with if Ajmal really does bring in OAC, needless to say, we all know Owaisi's role in national politics. He himself a phenomenal politician, a good strategist there. So definitely a lot of worry for Gaurav, and also the fact that if we look at the numbers 2026, 2021, the way, and 2021 also, Gaurav in fact, the Congress had the Mahajot. At that point of time, they had 10 parties, and AIUDF was also part of that Mahajot. After that, they parted ways. Now, in 2021, AIUDF had a 80% strike rate. Of the 20 seats they had contested, they won 16. Whereas, as far as Congress is concerned, of the 29, I believe they must have, of the 95 or 94
Right.
seats, about 29, which is 31%.
Absolutely.
So, in any case, whether OAC, UDF, another phenomenal player as far as Kerala is concerned, whether they come in or not, a lot to worry as far as Congress is
Okay,
concerned.
now कविता, ये बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग स्टेटमेंट बदरुद्दीन अजमल ने दिया है। बदरुद्दीन अजमल का साफ कहना है कि उन्होंने सवाल किया असम में मुसलमान का परसेंटेज कितना है, तो 35% है। तो उनका कहना है वैसे भी बीजेपी का लिए तो 65% तो बीजेपी वैसे भी आ रहा है, तो उनका सत्ता में आने के लिए उनका चुनाव नहीं है, उनका प्रेजेंस एस्टैब्लिश करने का चुनाव है। क्योंकि जैसे कि ओनितम ने कहा, एक जमाना था जब AIUDF का 18 to 20 सीट्स उनका कब्जा में था। स्लोली इनका मतलब दखल जो है वो कम होते गया। तो अभी इनका यही मतलब मुझे लगता है कि 35% है, तो इवन इफ एंटायर 35% अगर कांग्रेस को वोट डाल दिया जाए मुसलमान, देन तब भी कांग्रेस नहीं जीतेगा। तो इसमें क्या आपको कैसे देखता है ये स्टेटमेंट? मुझे तो लगता है कि ये साफ है कि वो चुनाव जो है AIUDF ने चुनाव जीतने के लिए नहीं कॉन्टेस्ट करेंगे, ये उनका अपना जो है ओरिजिनल पोजीशन एस्टैब्लिश करने के लिए कर रहा है।
एक बार फिर वापसी करना चाहते हैं अजमल AIMIM की मदद से। वसबीर, अगर पूरे देश में आप देखें तो लोकप्रियता बढ़ी है ओवैसी और AIMIM की पिछले कुछ सालों में। बिहार चुनाव की अगर हम बात कर ले तो एनडीए की लहर के बावजूद ओवैसी ने अपनी 5 सीटें बरकरार रखी, और ऐसे में जब आरजेडी जैसी बड़ी टीम सिर्फ 25 सीटों पर सिमट गई। अगर असम में ओवैसी और अजमल एक साथ मिलकर चुनाव लड़ते हैं तो जाहिर तौर पर कांग्रेस का वोट कटेगा वसबीर, क्योंकि भले ही ना कहा जाए AIMIM की तरफ से, ओवैसी की तरफ से कि बीजेपी की मदद की जाती है, लेकिन उनका चुनाव लड़ना, ओवैसी का चुनाव लड़ना जाहिर तौर पर बीजेपी के लिए फायदेमंद ही होता है।
कहीं ना कहीं क्या ये ऐसा लग रहा है कि अजमल जो ये स्टेटमेंट्स दे रहे हैं, ये 35% से वसबीर ने कहा 35% 65% वाला, कहीं ना कहीं कांग्रेस को छेड़ रहे हैं, ऐसा नहीं लग रहा है कि एक
जाहिर तौर पर वोट करने वाला कांग्रेस का
ये कि आप क्या कर रहे हो, आपका तो ऐसा भी चांस नहीं है, पत्ता कटा हुआ है।
नहीं है। तो अजमल का जो स्टेटमेंट अजमल ने दिया है नवरुण, इसमें से ऐसा लग रहा है कि हिज मेन टारगेट इज नॉट बीजेपी, हिज मेन टारगेट इज द कांग्रेस, क्योंकि और बयान साफ कर दिया है कि कांग्रेस के साथ वो नहीं जाएगा। उन्होंने ये भी कहा है कि कांग्रेस एक डूबती हुई नाव है जो कि बिहार में एस्टैब्लिश्ड हो गया है। So he's targeting the Congress much more than he's targeting the BJP.
और अजमल कह चुके हैं कि सबक सिखाना चाहते हैं कांग्रेस को। बिहार में जिस तरह से सबक मिली है उसी तरह की सबक असम में भी मिलेगी या कांग्रेस को, और ये सबक सिखाना चाहते हैं अजमल।
पिछले एक हफ्ते में, इन द लास्ट 1 week, अजमल हैज लिटरली मेड अ मॉकरी ऑफ द कांग्रेस इन असम। दिस announcement of this intention itself is a mockery of the Congress. I am trying to come up with a separate Muslim political front. They are directly challenging, as you rightly mentioned at the beginning of the show, they are directly challenging the Congresses and its allies' vote banks, and Ajmal is well aware of this. Now, in such a situation, it is not up to Ajmal, it is up to the Congress to try and woo Ajmal. But again, there will be difficulties in that. Yes. The Congress also has to consider the picture, the larger picture. Last time, 2021, many say because the Congress lost those many seats because of its alliance with the AIUDF.
Yes, that is another aspect to this whole political development. Is the statement by Akhil Gogoi, who was recently in New Delhi, where he said that that was actually only a couple of days after this formation of this front. He said that if in the next 7 to 10 days, if who is contesting what seats and what about the seat adjustments, if these things are not clear, then the Congress-led front is never going to succeed in its objective. Yeah. Now, what does this mean? That means already the rise or fall is putting pressure on the Congress. Then make sure which are the seats you are going to give us.
Absolutely. In fact, Wasbir, it's not just rise or fall. Even AJP has put forth that they want this number of seats. Raijordol has already said they want at least 20 seats. AJP said they want 14 to 16 seats. Now, the left parties, the CPM already has a MLA from Sarbhog. So, obviously, the left parties will also put forth a certain amount of seats, and what party insiders are saying is that Congress might actually find it difficult, and this particular front might actually falter even if even before it starts to take off, precisely on this particular seat sharing issue. And you know, it might end up that Congress might end up contesting way less than 100, which they will definitely not be comfortable about.
Do you think, I have a question for you, do you think the outcome of the Bihar polls is clearly showing an impact on the politics in Assam, especially for the Congress? Congress was supposed to be the dominant partner all this while. All of a sudden, after the Bihar results, the parties, its alliance partners, do not seem to have that kind of trust on it and want a bigger share.
To my mind, the trust deficit that the Congress's allies have definitely widened after the performance in Bihar. The trust deficit of the Congress's traditional allies, whether it is in Bihar, take the case of Assam, it has actually eroded further. The trust deficit has widened further. Now, you know, if you remember, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma, the Assam Chief Minister, has made a prediction of sorts. Even before, I think, if I'm not wrong, before this 7-8 party alliance was formed by the Congress, he said that he talked about, I think he made a dig at Raijordol. He said, wherever Raijordol is there, it sinks.
Akhil Gogoi.
He particularly mentioned about Akhil Gogoi, that wherever Akhil Gogoi is there,
there will be a durghatna.
There's something like that. He
said. He mixes salt to milk. That is the
he mixes salt to milk.
Yes.
And immediately after that,
matlab doodh fatega.
Immediately after that, whether it is a coincidence or whether it is whatever, Akhil Gogoi made the statement दिल्ली में जो उनको बयान दिया कि 7 दिन का अंदर और 10 दिन का अंदर ये होना चाहिए, नहीं तो it will be difficult. तो आप you know, how do you see that?
जिस महागठबंधन में अपने आप में इतना कंफ्यूजन हो, तो वो लोगों को कैसे सुलझा सकते हैं और कैसे बता सकते हैं चीजें?
And I'm sure for all these political parties, what happened during the by-polls, the Behali by-election के time, जिस तरह से they all said, these particular parties who are now again together with Congress, Raijordol, AJP, they are the ones who had said that Congress had backstabbed them.
Now, I want to make a point here. You know, why is Ajmal suddenly decided? Why has Ajmal suddenly decided to rope in? Whether it succeeds or not is a different story. But he's trying to rope in AIMIM and the UDF, which has absolutely no organizational base in Assam, which is absolutely alien to Assam and its politics. To my mind, you know, the last elections, last Lok Sabha elections, the drubbing that the AIUDF Supremo Badruddin Ajmal himself got in his Dhubri seat at the hands of Rattled Hussain. Even people who did not know Rattled Hussain is also at that time an outsider as far as Dhubri parliamentary seat is concerned. How people voted lock, stock and barrel for Rattled Hussain, completely discrediting Badruddin Ajmal. I don't think he has forgotten, and that is the reason he wants to come up with some kind of a trump card kind of a thing by roping in big names like Asaduddin Owaisi's AIMIM and the UDF, which has a some kind of a base, consistent base in Kerala.
Just like Nitish Kumar said, Tiger Abhi Zinda hai. Probably Ajmal wants to make a statement here, and he knows very well that the AIUDF has lost ground. In the last couple of years, AIUDF has definitely lost ground. He has to bring something to the table for his voters, for his supporters, to build their confidence, for his party workers, for his MLS leaders. And OAC, as you know, despite everything, he has been able to come up as a leader who is representing minority aspirations in the country. If Ajmal can rope in OAC, probably that is his best bet. Having said that, the AIUDF, the kind of drubbing it received, जिस तरह का result Lok Sabha में, it's like people lost faith on AIUDF.
And another thing, we talk about the Congress all the time, but there is similar internal dissensions within the AIUDF as well. Severe internal bickerings within the party, inner party contradictions within the AIUDF बहुत है.
Absolutely. There are even murmurs of Ajmal's style of campaigning and how the campaigning was delayed during the Lok Sabha polls by at least a couple of weeks or more, and the party workers and leaders were clearly not happy. This is what party sources told us. They were clearly not happy with the way they were approaching the Lok Sabha polls. So yes, when a party is not doing well, there will be internal bickering, there will be dissension. That is a certainty.
एक बात यहाँ पर अजमल महागठबंधन में शामिल होना चाह रहे थे, ये सूत्र बता रहे हैं कि असम में जो विपक्षियों का महागठबंधन है उसमें शामिल होने की इच्छा थी अजमल की, लेकिन इनकी जो पहली बैठक थी उसमें बुलाया नहीं गया अजमल को, जिससे वो नाराज थे। और यही किस्सा बिहार में भी हुआ था ओवैसी के साथ। ओवैसी भी चाह रहे थे कि महागठबंधन में शामिल हो, लेकिन कांग्रेस और आरजेडी ने सिरे से नकार दिया था, जिसके बाद नतीजा सबके सामने है।
डायलेमा है, ये वही डायलेमा है जिसमें मैं बात कर रहा था। अब अजमल लास्ट टाइम क्या हुआ हमने देखा, ओवैसी इन बिहार। कांग्रेस कहीं ना कहीं माइनॉरिटी को रिप्रेजेंट करना चाहती है, लेकिन इट ऑल्सो वांट्स टू टेक द मेजॉरिटी वोटर्स अलॉन्ग विथ इट, दैट समवेयर in some states keeps it away from the likes of the Oaisis and the Ajmals. Probably a similar thing was playing in the Assam Congress's mind.
Now it is very clear, the very fact अगर ये होता है कि नहीं ये अलग बात है, बट द फैक्ट दैट बदरुद्दीन अजमल ने ये जो दो नाम लिया AIMIM एंड UDF, इसका मतलब ये है कि he wants to focus his election in 2026 only with the Muslim population of Assam. And when you talk, let me clarify, when I talk about the Muslim population of Assam, AIUDF was never strong in those strongholds of the Assamese Muslims. ये भी clear करना जरूरी है। तो
मियाँ तक ही सीमित है।
लेट्स नॉट यूज द वर्ड, बट वो जो भी है बांग्लादेशी ओरिजिन का जो लोग हैं, तो इमिग्रेंट ओरिजिन लोगों का बीच में ही, एंड टू सम एक्सटेंट इन द बराक वैली बंगाली स्पीकिंग मुस्लिम्स का साथ इनका बेस है, लेकिन असमीज मुस्लिम्स के साथ इनका बेस पहले भी नहीं था, और मुझे अभी पता नहीं कि इस कुछ ये किस तरह से अगर डिफरेंट होगा कि नहीं मुझे पता नहीं है, बट ही हैज मेड इट क्लियर दैट ही इज गोइंग टू लिमिट हिज पॉलिटिक्स टू द मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी एज फार एज असम इज कंसर्न्ड.
Yes, and also just one quick point here, that if we look at how the voting pattern of 2021, you know, majority of the Muslim people also appears to have voted for BJP, and BJP's current outreach program also, including what they are doing for Barak Valley districts, also is going to really augur well in the 2026 elections as far as BJP is concerned.
Absolutely. In fact, you know, in Rattled Hussein's constituency in the last assembly elections, that victory in fact was also significant, because that's a largely Muslim dominated constituency.
Absolutely, yes.
And I think nobody can win that seat unless the Muslims have voted for the BJP candidate. That is the general feeling. Absolutely. But let's not go into that, but basically Ajmal ये बात क्लियर कर दिया है कि इज ओनली हैविंग ए लिमिटेड ऑब्जेक्टिव है, ये ही वांट्स टू रीएस्टैब्लिश, जैसे कि कविता ने कहा, वंस अगेन ही वांट्स टू कम बैक and make a base among his pockets, and his original strongholds in the Assam.
Also his age factor.
Absolutely.
75. So
Ajmal right now looks on a mission to ruin the Congress. Congress is already aware of this. Gaurav Gogoi, that's why the other day, yesterday I believe, called him the 108 emergency number for the BJP. Ajmal responded today saying, it's not me, Akhil Gogoi is a BJP agent. Almost the entire Assam Congress is a BJP agent. It's a 108 number, be it Rattled Hussain, be it Gaurav Gogoi himself. So clearly
that is what Ajmal said.
Yeah. Clearly the war of words has begun between Ajmal and the Congress. And it's clear, if Ajmal goes for this 20 to 24 minority dominated seats, which the Congress and its allies are also vying for, the voters mind you, it may backfire for both AIUDF, for Congress. The voters may again choose to hear, by creating this confusion amongst themselves, what we saw in Bihar, voting against caste, religion, everything backfired. The same, don't be surprised if the same happens in Assam, if it becomes the biggest victory of the BJP in 2026. Probably the BJP also wouldn't have imagined till now.
All right, Kavita, what do you say? कैसा लग रहा है कि क्या होने वाला है in the next coming weeks, coming months?
भले AIMIM और अजमल मिलकर चुनाव लड़े, लेकिन विपक्ष के पास वज़बीर मुझे लगता है फिलहाल असम विधानसभा चुनाव के दौरान मुद्दे नहीं है। मुद्दे क्या हो सकते हैं? विकास बीजेपी ने किया है, हिंदू मुस्लिम एंगल के अलावा और कुछ मुद्दा साफ तौर पर नजर नहीं आता है। और अगर AIMIM और अजमल मिलकर चुनाव लड़ते हैं तो कांग्रेस का वोट कटने वाला है और बीजेपी, जाहिर तौर पर बीजेपी को फायदा होगा।
Absolutely. On the whole, as far as 2026 state assembly elections is concerned, now while the BJP votes are going to remain intact, that is what is the general feeling. BJP votes of the BJP and its allies, they are more or less going to remain intact. But the fight will be between the Badruddin Ajmal led front, if at all it happens, and the Congress led front, if they can hold on as an alliance partner till the elections are announced. So it is going to be a very interesting equations to watch. But what we can say about Badruddin Ajmal's sudden appearance and the dramatic statements that he is making is that he has already made it clear that he is not going to fight to come to power, but he is definitely going to fight to regain the AIUDF's lost status and base in Assam. On that note, we end this edition of the in-house debate. Thanks for watching. Good night and goodbye.